Welcome to The Explainer. It's kind of strange, isn't it? We're more connected than ever before with all our technology, but so many of us feel completely and totally alone. Well, today we're going to look at a really interesting spiritual answer to this modern crisis, an idea that comes from Father Joy Nellissery. So let's dive right in.
Okay, let's kick things off with a pretty tough question. And this is coming straight from a recent report by the World Health Organization. Why are we dying younger? With all the medical breakthroughs and everything we've got going for us, something just isn't adding up. Right now, the average life expectancy in the United States is sitting at 78 years. And here's the really worrying part. That number is actually going down. This puts the United States behind a lot of other developed nations. Think Canada, which is at 82, and even some developing countries. That's a huge deal. So you gotta ask, what's causing this decline? Well, the WHO report zeroes in on three main things: liver cirrhosis, drug overdoses, and suicide. And when you look at that list, it's pretty clear. Two of those, overdose and suicide, they're not just about physical health, right? They point to something much, much deeper, a real crisis of despair. And that's exactly where the report lands. When you peel back the layers of statistics on addiction and despair, you find this one core problem underneath it all, this growing, creeping sense of social isolation. Just that feeling of being completely and totally alone. Okay, so if loneliness is the sickness, what's the medicine? Health organizations will talk about social programs and community building, which are great, but people like Father Joy Nellissery, they argue the problem and the solution is actually spiritual. And his answer is, well, it's been around for a very, very long time. He thinks we should take another look at the whole idea of a guardian angel. And no, not like a cartoon character with a halo. He sees it as this really powerful, practical way to build up your own self-worth. It's this core belief that there's a divine presence that's there just for you. And he points to this specific Bible verse to really drive it home, especially for people who feel forgotten or hopeless. The message is huge. It doesn't matter who looks down on you in this life. From above, you are never looked down upon. Your angel is always looking upon the face of God. So here's the takeaway, right? If you can truly internalize this idea that you are never, ever alone, it can totally rewire your sense of self. It builds an identity based on the idea that you have value just by existing. And that is a powerful antidote to the poison of loneliness. But, it's one thing to hear that and think, okay, that's a nice idea. It's another thing to actually feel it deep down. So how do you bridge that gap? Well, Father Joy says it all starts with your own personal experience. He actually tells this incredible story about himself. He was walking to meet some friends late one night, and all of a sudden he gets this really strong, urgent feeling. You need to turn back, just out of nowhere. And he listened. He turned right around, and just seconds later, a car comes screeching by and crashes in the exact spot he would have been standing. He's convinced that was his guardian angel. And he has this brilliant analogy to explain how this works. Picture an old TV with an antenna. He says the divine presence, that angel, is like a TV signal that's always broadcasting, 24/7. The signal is there. The issue isn't with the signal, it's with our receiver. So that's the heart of it. This presence isn't gone. It's not absent. Our minds are just not tuned in. We're so distracted by all the noise and chaos of daily life that we miss the signal that's being sent just for us. But what happens when you do manage to tune in? Well, the implications are huge, because embracing this connection, it doesn't just change how you see yourself, it changes how you see the entire world. For starters, it completely gets rid of the idea that you're just some random accident. If you believe a guardian angel is assigned specifically to you, that's a powerful statement that you were created on purpose, with intention. And of course, if you're here on purpose, that means your life has a purpose. You have a specific role to play in the big picture, a mission to contribute something, to make the world better in your own unique way. And this idea just keeps expanding. Father Joy talks about the belief that everything has an angel, even something as simple as a blade of grass. Just stop and think about that for a second. It paints a picture of a universe where every single person, every single thing is directly plugged into a higher cosmic power. And that cosmic connection totally changes how we see our everyday relationships. Think about it. A good friend, someone who's there for you. In this view, they're not just a friend. They could be a messenger. They could be the physical form of that divine help. They can be an angel in your life. This way of thinking even gives us a whole new way to look at forgiveness. It's no longer about just letting someone off the hook. Instead, forgiveness becomes this powerful spiritual act. You're giving up your right to get even, not for the other person, but as a gift to God. It's like you're acknowledging that bigger connection we all share.
Okay, so let's recap. We've got this divine support system that's always on, always broadcasting. And we're all part of this massive cosmic web. So, what's the last piece of the puzzle? What's the one thing we need to do to actually experience all of this?
Well, according to Father Joy, the whole thing hinges on one key principle: your permission. This spiritual support system totally respects our free will. The help is there, it's being offered, but it will never, ever force itself on you. And that brings us to the final, really thought-provoking question. If this presence, this help, is always there, just waiting, what would happen if you just invited it in? What if the key to fighting back against this deep loneliness we're all feeling isn't some huge, complicated plan, but just a quiet, simple moment of giving permission?